Welcome my dear students of class 8A and 8B to my history class. Today I am going to teach you the following points as I mentioned in the board and with the same chapter, Rise of British Power in Bengal. Now how many points I have written in the board, please look at it. First point, Conquest of Bengal. Second point, Battle of Plassey. Third point, Robert Clive. Fourth point, consequences of the battle, and fifth point, Bengal after the battle. First point, conquest of Bengal. What is conquest of Bengal? In the 18th century, Bengal had become one of the most important sources of income for all trading companies of Europe. It was British who realized it. That's why they invested huge amount of money in their trade in order to earn much more income from our state, Bengal. And the British East India Company was mostly active in Bengal only because of the fertile lands of Bengal and the richness of Bengal. Peasants and farmers earned a lot of money from their agriculture, and they could pay huge amount of money as revenues, taxes to the Nawab of Bengal. During that time when the British started it, Nawab Sirajuddaula became the Nawab of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. And right that moment, Bengal accounted for almost 75% of the companies procured. 75% accounted for almost 75% of the company's procurement of Indian goods, but they did not want to compromise with other traders. They did not want to make any competition with other trading companies of Europe. They wanted to monopolize their trade. That's why they open-ended declared war against Indian Nawabs. It was Nawab Sirajuddaula who was the first they targeted. Why? Because of on the question of free trade. It was Mughal Emperor Farrukh Shah. Farrukh Shah gave them a forman, means written order, according to which the British East India Company obtained the right to make free trade in India without paying taxes and revenues to the Nawab of Bengal. Bengal's Nawab Sirajuddaula forced them to pay taxes, but they showed it. Yes, you see, it is our forman, written document Mughal Emperor had given us. Then how can you demand that we are supposed to pay taxes and revenues? You can't demand us. You cannot demand us. They said it to Nawab Sirajuddaula. But ultimately what happened? Ultimately, this led to a conflict between Sirajuddaula and British East India Company. Not only that, whenever, Nawab Sirajuddaula established a friendly relation with the French, and the company did not consider it to be a very simple matter, because they wanted to remove the existence of French trade from Bengal, but only one center was there, Chandarnagar, under the hands of the French. But this enraged Sirajuddaula. Sirajuddaula decided, meanwhile, Sirajuddaula decided to increase friendship with the French, but British East India Company forbade Nawab from doing it. But it harmed the sentiment of Nawab. Nawab Sirajuddaula in June 1756, marched to Calcutta and captured Fort William, the garrison of the company. Another reasons also were there behind it. Why did Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla attack, capture the garrison of, British East India Company, Fort William? But I don't want to mention it because these points are not mentioned in your book. Anyway, now next point, Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey. After the incident of attacking Calcutta by Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla, and after the incident of capturing Fort William, the garrison of British East India Company, the British decided to take a revenge. They decided to take a revenge against Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla by hook or by crook. Only one, option was there for them, that was conspiracy, making conspiracy. That's why the British, after that incident of attacking Calcutta by Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla, they started making conspiracy against Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla. They won over a number of nobles. They won over zamindars. They won over rich people of Bengal. And above all, they won over the military commander of Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla, Mir Jafar, by assuring Mir Jafar that after the defeat of Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla in the Battle of Plassey, they will make Mir Jafar to be the next Nawab of Bengal. Mir Jafar was very greedy. So he agreed and led the conspiracy. Ultimately, the war was declared against Siraj-ud-Dowla. Both the two sides met at the battlefield of Plassey. Still the battlefield is there. If you go to see, you see only, sugarcane is being planted. These are produced from there because one sugar mill also is there near to the battlefield of Plassey. Okay, but I don't know whether the sugar mill is reopened. It was closed. I don't know whether it was reopened. But sugarcane and other crops also are produced from there. But one monument is there. Okay, in front of that battlefield, you can see, you can once go there, visit there, in order to recall the miserable condition of Bengal and the last independent Nawab of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa, Siraj-ud-Dowla, who was defeated in that very battle, and the Battle of Plassey took place in the year 1757. Anyway, my dear students, so East India Company declared war against Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla, and that confederacy of Mir Jafar stood like dolls. They were not fighting. Simply they assured Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla whenever it would be necessary, they would start fighting against East India Company. Now let two commanders, Mir Madan and Mir Mohanlal, fight against British East India Company. And as soon as Mir Madan and Mohanlal fail to fight properly against British East India Company, they would start fighting. But it was not the real cause. It was not the real cause the real cause was a conspiracy. It was a part of conspiracy because Nawab Sirajuddaulah was asked or suggested by Robert Clive to be stand still with his soldiers, but they would never raise their sword against British East India Company. Simply they will stand. And what was instructed by Robert Clive for Mirzapur, Mirzapur followed it strictly. As a result, the defeat was inevitable. The defeat of Nawab Sirajuddaulah was inevitable. Moreover, the last attempt was being made by, Mohanlal. He was alone fighting against British East India Company. Meanwhile, Mirzapur got very much anxious and suggested Nawab Sirajuddaulah to get back in order to protect the capital, Murshidabad. Sirajuddaulah, it was a wrong decision of Sirajuddaulah at the time when Mohanlal was fighting proudly and was killing a number of British soldiers. Sirajuddaulah did not have patience. On hearing the suggestion of Mirzapur, Sirajuddaulah left the battlefield. And as soon as that news reached Mohanlal, Mohanlal left all hopes and he also left the battlefield. Naturally, British East India Company declared themselves to be the winner and also declared Mirzapur to be the next Nawab of Bengal. So this is the history of Battle of Plassey, my dear students, which was occurred in the year 1757, 23rd June, Thursday. And next one, Robert Clive. Who was Robert Clive? Robert Clive was actually came from England and joined East India Company as a writer. He first came to Madras and joined British East India Company as a writer. But he was also a great fighter, very courageous, brave, and very intelligent indeed. As soon as Sirajuddaulah occupied the garrison of British East India Company, Fort William, that news, or that incident harmed the sentiments of the British East India Company. So British East India Company headquarters, England, decided to make Robert Clive the commander of British East India Company, the commander of the army of British East India Company. So that very person who came to India and joined as a writer, now he became the military commander of British Army. As a result, Sirajuddaulah, whenever Sirajuddaulah, came twice in Kolkata and reached near Halsi Bagan, a place of Umichand, a garden, beautiful garden of Umichand, that place where Sirajuddaulah, set his tents and started fighting against East India Company. Once again he ordered his troops to open fire against East India Company. No firing came from the side of Robert Clive because Robert Clive was a great strategist and clever as well. That's why Robert Clive wanted to communicate a message to Nawab Sirajuddaulah that British East India Company had no materials to fight against the Nawab of Bengal. That's why Nawab became overconfident, and all the soldiers under Nawab, they all became overconfident. They enjoyed a lot, and they went to their tents for next day's battle. They thought that this night battle will not be held. It would be better they should take rest. They all went to their beds. Meanwhile, Sirajuddaulah, during midnight, During midnight, Robert Clive started firing, and there was huge fire, huge sound. Sirajuddaula got nervous and felt for the first time what was called horror, fear. Earlier, he did not face such kind of situation. It was the first he faced that situation and realized that a new commander came on behalf of British East India Company and fighting against him. He was Robert Clive. So, Robert Clive, next day Sirajuddaula did not fight against them and established friendship with British East India Company. This is the most important weakness of Nawab Sirajuddaula. The British East India Company and Robert Clive realized, and they truly realized the weakness of Sirajuddaula. They truly understood what sort of a person Nawab Sirajuddaula was. That's why they became overconfident. Realized that act of bravery could be easily utilized during the next attempt against Nawab Sirajuddaula. Ultimately, Robert Clive, became the architect of the Battle of Plassey. I discussed few days back. And next one, consequences of the battle. Mirzapur, as I mentioned, was declared Nawab of Bengal, but he became a figurehead Nawab. The real power was in the hands of British East India Company. Under Mirzapur, the company slowly gained control over not only Bengal but in other parts of India. And company was given the zamindari rights of 24 Parganas along with huge monetary tributes. By whom? By Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Mirzapur paid the company an amount of rupees 300 lakhs rupees as war indemnity. What he was asked to promise to the British East India Company before the company made him Nawab. Now he tried to heal the wounds. He tried to, pay the dues. Now he started paying the dues to the British East India Company. The amount of money he was supposed to pay to the British East India Company as war indemnity. Now he started paying it. The English traders exploited the Indian artisans, Indian craftsmen by supplying their manufactured goods from England. So the small-scale industries which were running under the craftsmen, under the artisans, now these all were ruined because the manufactured goods captured the large market of India. Textile industry could not survive the competition with the cheap machine-made goods. Naturally, almost all artisans became unemployed. And after what happened to them? They pushed back towards debt. Almost all artisan craftsmen, they pushed back towards debts and poverty. This made Bengal economically very, very weak. The resources of Bengal were now at the disposal of the company, and this helped them to win the Third Carnatic War. During First Carnatic War, the British East India Company, was defeated by the French under the leadership of Dupleix. But during Second and Third Carnatic Wars, the British East India Company became powerful financially, politically, and was able to defeat the French and shift and force them to leave the country. The Battle of Plassey transformed a trading company. That's why it is said the Battle of Plassey transformed a trading company into a political power. That's why it is said that the Battle of Plassey was the turning point in the history of British East India Company. The company, turned into a political power, turned out to be a political power in India, not only in Bengal but in India after that. Now Bengal after the Battle of Plassey. What happened to Bengal after the Battle of Plassey? Now I am going to discuss Bengal after the Battle of Plassey. This point, last point. Now the economic condition of Bengal started to deteriorate. Mirzapur opposed company's greedy attitude. As a result, Mirzapur was deposed, and his son-in-law Mir Qasim was made next Nawab. But Mir Qasim was very intelligent than his father-in-law. Mir Qasim was efficient and able ruler. Mir Qasim saw that there was inequality in the state Bengal because the British traders monopolized their trades, but the local local Indian traders, they could not compete with them. Why? Because the Farman of Farrukhsiyar, Mughal Emperor Farrukhsiyar, gave them the right. British East India Company was using it. This resulted in a huge loss of revenue to the Nawab. That's why Nawab decided to abolish the duties on internal trade and place limits on the trade privileges of the company. So company felt insulted. Mir Qasim realized that there should be equality in the state. The other poor, traders, they all were coming to make requests to Nawab, sir, please save us, please protect us from being humiliated at the hands of British traders. They were making their trade monopoly, and we had been suffering financial loss. Please let me have a chance so that we could trade here comfortably. Please establish a rule of equality. You are the Nawab of Bengal, they said. So Mir Qasim abolished all types of taxes from internal trade. So it harmed the sentiments of the Britishers. So naturally there came a competition between the British East India Company and local traders. That's why Mir Qasim realized that within a short period, the British was going to declare war against him. That's why he made a very strong army. And brought some European commanders by paying huge money, by offering huge money. They all came from Europe and provided European training to the soldiers of Mir Qasim. As a result, Mir Qasim became overconfident, optimistic that he would be able to defeat British East India Company. But the hostility between the company and Mir Qasim increased, and the company finally declared war against Mir Qasim in the year 1763, and as a result, the Battle of Buxar started. The Battle of Buxar took place in the year 1764, 1 year left. So it is Next day, I shall discuss about Battle of Buxar. I shall discuss from Battle of Buxar. Thank you up to this.